The topic we are going to see is Objective of Business from 11th Standard Commerce subject. Introduction. Human activities. Human activity is an activity performed by a human being to meet his or her needs and wants, or maybe for personal satisfaction. That is, whatever the activity is performed by a human being must be aimed to meet his personal satisfaction, we can say. These human activities can be divided into two categories: economic and non-economic activities. First one is economic activity. Activities undertaken with the object of earning money, we can say it as economic activities. That, for example, we can say production of goods by manufacturers, distribution of goods by wholesalers, or selling by retailers, we can say. Then non-economic activities. What are the activities undertaken to satisfy social and psychological needs are called non-economic activities. These activities are not aimed to get money, we can say. For example, cooking food for family, celebrating festivals, watching movies in a theater. Now, economic activity versus non-economic activity difference we can see. Definition: whatever the activity is undertaken to earn money for their livelihood is comes under the category economic activities. For example, a vegetable seller sells vegetables, we can say. Non-economic activities, these are not aimed to get money, only for personal satisfaction or psychological needs. So, for example, mother cooks for her family, we can say. Here, the main motivation is to earn money or to get financial gain. For example, working as a lawyer. Here, the main aim is to get only psychological or emotional needs, we can say. For example, visit to a temple. Next, money measurement. All economic activities can be measured only in terms of money. Here, the doctor charges sometimes 500 rupees for his consultation fee. And here, non-economic activities cannot be valued in monetary terms because it aims only for psychological satisfaction only, we can say. For example, an NGO distributes free clothes to poor children, we can say. Relationship. Here the economic activities are related only to create some wealth. For example, a person saved a part of his salary to buy one house for his own purpose. Here, non-economic activities do not create any wealth because money received as donation is to be spent for the charity work. Outcome. All the economic activities are related to production or procurement, distribution or consumption of goods and services, we can say. For example, Nokia produces cell phones and through distributors, we can say. Here, the non-economic activities reflects the mental, emotional or psychological satisfaction of the persons whoever does the activity, we can say. For example, a teacher enjoys teaching to an orphanage. Duration. Here the economic activities are again and again repetitive, we can say. Every time a trader sells goods and services, we can say. But here non-economic activities must not be regular. Sometimes it may be irregular also. For example, rare case only Sankar visits orphanage. And then source of initiation. Economic activities are initiated only to satisfy the human needs and wants, we can say. But here it is initiated only to satisfy emotional or sentimental pleasures, we can say. Now let us see the types of economic activity. First one is employment, second one is profession, and third one is business. What is employment? Mostly employment refers to the occupation in which people work for others and get remuneration. For example, a teacher works in a school. Why? For what purpose? Only to get salary. Next one is profession. These professions are the occupations which involve rendering of personal services of special and expert nature, we can say. For example, doctor, lawyers, even chartered accountants comes under the category of profession. Next one is business. Here the business refers to any human activity undertaken on a regular basis. For what? Only for the purpose of earning profit through production, distribution, or purchase or sale of goods and services, we can say. Now, let us see the classification of the business activities. These business activities are classified on the basis of size, ownership, and function. First one is activities based on size. Small scale industries. Mostly small scale units know they require only less capital, we can say. For example, manufacturing textiles in handlooms. Next one is large scale. Mostly these large scale units know they require more capital. Example, we can say Raymond's, Ramraj Cotton likewise. Then activities based on ownership. Under this, it can be categorized into private enterprises and public enterprises. An enterprises is said to be a private when it is owned and controlled by the private persons other than government. So that is known as private enterprises. For example, sole trading concern, we can say Sundar stationery shops likewise. Next, public enterprises. An enterprise which is said to be a public enterprise when it is owned, managed and controlled by government or any of its agencies, we can say. For example, oil, natural gas and commission, we can say. Next one is joint enterprises. A joint enterprise is an enterprise where it is owned, managed, controlled by government and private entrepreneurs. Both together they can jointly do the business, we can say. For example, Maruti Suzuki. Next one is activities based on function. First, industry. Industry refers to all those business activities which involve raising, producing or processing of consumer goods. For example, we can say bread, butter, cheese, shoes or capital goods or like machinery, we can say. Next to commerce. Commerce actually means it acts as a link between the producers and the consumers of goods. So it maintains a smooth and uninterrupted flow of goods from the producers to consumers. That is commerce. Now let us see the characteristics of the business. Mainly business aims for production or procurement of goods, we can say. Mainly it intend for sale or transfer of exchange. Next, it deals in goods and services only. The dealings must also be in regular basis. Next, it aims at profit motive and there is risk present in the business. Now, let us compare the business, profession and employment. First one is business. How the business has been formed only by the promoters, முன்னோடிகள்னு சொல்லலாம். Promoters decision, they only make arrangements for registration or other formalities, whatever is prescribed by law. Here profession means they should become the member of the professional body or they should obtain a certificate, we can say. For example, a doctor gets certificate only after finishing his MBBS degree, we can say. And then employment. The employment mostly based on the service contract or they will get a letter of appointment. Nature of the work. Here goods or services are provided to the public in case of business. Here they are providing personalized service which are of expert nature, we can say. And here only whatever the work is interested, the employee has to do the work for his employer, we can say. Qualifications. In case of business, no minimum qualification is essential. But in case of profession, surely they should have obtained education and training in the respective field, we can say. Here, employment means minimum qualification is necessary. Then, capital. Mostly, investment is required as per the size of the business, we can say. And here, only limited capital is necessary for the establishment of professions. But in case of employment, no capital is required. Main motivation is only to earn more profit in case of business. But here profession, of course, even though they get money also, their services are said to be, so their services are said to be only providing service to the public only, we can say. And here no service, that is, for example, whatever they work, they earn wages or salary. And then reward, profits. Profits is related to business, we can say. Profession, they are getting professionalized fees. And here in case of employment, salary or wages, we can say. Risk, because sometimes risk, because of the risk, profits may be uncertain in case of business, but in case of profession, fees they will receive regularly. And then here fixed and regular salary only they'll receive in case of employment. And then transfer of interest, sometimes transfers may also be possible with some formalities, we can say. But profession, there is no transfer. And here employment also no, not transferable. And then code of ethics, there are some values are there for conducting the business. They must adopt moral values. But in professional also, they should have some code of ethics, that is moral values they should have. And here the employee has to abide by the rules and regulations of the employment. Now let us see what are the various objectives of the business, that is business oda நோக்கங்களை பார்க்கலாம். First one is economic objective. What is mean by economic objective? What is the main motivation? The main objective is only to earn profit, we can say. But there are some certain objectives are there, but it should be related only to the motivation of profit. That is known as economic objective, we can say. Next one is social objectives. What is the meaning for the social objectives? Because the business is done only for the related to the society. In that case, they should follow some ethics in order to satisfy the public. For example, they should utilize scarce resources. Whatever the services done by the business people, it should not affect the society, we can say. For example, they should supply quality of goods, and they should not do any antisocial practices. They should provide more employment, and they must cooperation with government, like they should provide some services to the slums. Likewise, the objectives must be related to the society, we can say. And then next one is organizational objectives, we can say. The aim of the organization is only to accomplish whatever the goals they have intended to do in the future. For example, they can expand the business, or they supply quality of goods to the customers, and they should provide satisfaction to the customers, we can say. That is, they should fulfill the short term and medium term goals of an organization, we can say. Next one is human objectives. Mostly these objectives, no, they are related to the employees. That is, to get social or psychological satisfaction of the employees. Because whatever the business aimed, they must be aimed to satisfy the employees. That is, it related to the human resources. For example, they should obtain labor welfare, or they should develop the human resources. They must make all the people to actively participate in the management, and cooperation should be there. And the last objective is national objective, because it is very important part of the country. Every business must aim at fulfilling the national goals and aspirations, we can say. கண்டிப்பாக தேசிய நோக்கங்களை செயல்படுறதா மட்டும்தான் இருந்திருக்கணும். Because they should aim at to provide employment and opportunity to every citizen, and they must earn profit. Whatever the profit they earn, they must go into the state executive treasury, we can say. Because in future they must provide goods and services to promote the social justice, etc., we can say. That is, by strengthening the economic structure thereby increasing the national income and thereby providing proper distribution of income and wealth, and by removing the unemployment problem, we can say these are the objectives of the business. Let us conclude the lesson. Have a nice day.